Le preposizioni. Ok, allora, preposizioni are always hard to remember. So these are few rules that are going to help you to remember what to use when. Okay, so first of all, we start with the first important thing to remember. When you're talking about where you are from, you could say vengo da, meaning I'm coming from, o sono di, I am of. Both of them indicate your origin, the country where you're coming from. Okay, so vengo dall'Italia, that's an example. Vengo dall'Italia e sono di Milano. I could definitely say vengo da Milano. Sono dell'Italia doesn't sound as good. Second rule to remember. When I have two verbs, one after the other one, I don't conjugate both verbs. I conjugate the first one and the second verb comes as an infinitive, are, ere o ire. Ad esempio, vado, let's conjugate as io, a mangiare. I cannot say vado, mangio. So I don't conjugate both verbs. I will conjugate the first verb, I introduce my preposition a, and then there is another verb that follows, are, ere o ire. Vengo, I come, a studiare. I conjugate the first one, the second one, it's a verb as an infinitive. Third rule. When we're talking about transport, okay, I will always say in treno, in macchina, in tram, in autobus, but very careful, I use a when I'm talking about piedi, which means on foot. So when I'm going on foot, sorry for the bad looking foot, I'm using a. So in treno, in tram, in macchina, a piedi. Then, when we have a preposition in front of a city or a suburb or a country, so per esempio we will say vado a plus the city, vado a Milano, in plus the country, in Italia. O per esempio abito a New York, in America. The same will happen for a suburb. We can say abito a Richmond. So a for city or suburb, in plus a country. Then, number 5. When we use the verb partire, which means to depart, I will depart for a destination. So I would use per plus mas destinazione. So the place I'm going to. So parto per l'Italia. Now we know the per and l'apostrophe cannot be connected. They have to stay separate. So that's your preposition. Parto per l'Italia. If I'm departing from a specific city, I can say parto da, which we know means from, parto da Milano per Roma. So I'm leaving from Milan and I'm going to Rome. That's my destination. That's with the verb partire. Then, very important, this is very hard to remember. Usually students find problematic. Da. We said that da means from, but da also means at someone's house or at someone's restaurant, okay? So I will write at someone's house, restaurant, office, okay? Now, I don't mention house, restaurant or office. It's like in English when you say, I'm going to Maria's. Okay, there are many restaurants called Maria's. Maria's means the restaurant of Maria. In Italian, if we have a first name like Maria, a first name doesn't have an article, so we'll just simply say vado, okay, we use the vado da Maria. Now the contest, well, we make it clear if Maria is a pizzeria, if Maria is my friend and I'm going to her house, okay? So da Maria. But if I'm going, for example, to the dentist or to the pharmacist, or if I'm going to, I don't know, the director of the company, I'm going to someone, but I'm talking about their profession. So, per esempio, dentista. Now, dentista, because it's end up in ista, could be maschile or femminile, depends on the gender of the actual dentist. The article, therefore, will be either il or la, okay? Il dentista is a male dentist, la dentista is a female dentist. So I will say, I'm going dal dentista, if he's a guy, sorry, right, or dalla dentista. Okay, I'll move it a bit higher so you can see. Now, so connected to this one, in an exercise, if you have a space and then you have a first name like Roberto, well, it could either be con Roberto, I go to the cinema with Roberto, or it will be da Roberto, meaning I'm going to Roberto's, his house or his restaurant. Then important, sorry, not 8, but 7. When we talk about time, okay, we talk about time. Okay, if I'm doing something from 8 to 5 p.m., so I'm talking from to, because I'm talking about a time, I will always say dalle 8 alle 5. Okay, so remember this, from the dalle to the alle. But if I'm saying the shop opens at 8 and closes at 5, then I'm not saying from to, I'm actually saying apre alle 8 at e chiude alle 5. So it does open at 8 and it closes at 5. Then, another very important point. we need to learn when to use the article together with the preposition. Now, sometimes when it's specific, so if I'm talking about specifico, that's when the article comes in. So, per esempio, I would say in Italia, but I will say nell'Italia centrale. Okay, we're talking about a specific part of Italy, not just Italy in general. Or I could say vado a scuola, but say alla scuola di italiano. It is a specific school. Can you see how it is more specific? It's not just any. Vado a teatro, just going to theatre, ma vado al teatro La Scala. So I'm giving you a specific theatre that I'm going to. So this is about being specific. In Italia, nell'Italia centrale. A scuola, alla scuola di italiano. A teatro, al teatro La Scala. On the back, let's use a different paper. Now,